So Life Lessons TV, look, it's going to be sort of, I think, a little bit edgy. I think it's going to be a little bit off the cuff. I'm letting you know now that once I get excited about a topic, I might swear a little bit. I might let a couple of curses go. So it's one of those things where I think I just want things to be kind of real. Hey everyone, Adrian here. This is Life Lessons TV, episode number 2, The Turning Point. All right, so we're back in the studio today. I'm here with my cameraman, George, Sexy George, and today we're talking about the turning point. You know, I had a really good conversation with a mentor of mine the other day, and we were talking about those pivotal moments in our lives where we sort of had that aha moment, and we know that that's the point that is the point of no return. For me, I just wanted to share a story with you today because for me is in my history, I owned a real estate practice for nearly 10 years, and it had its ups and downs. It had its moments where it was really killing it and loving life, and then it had its moments where I really wanted to just throw it all away. You know, there was times where it's kind of like 2, 3, 4 weeks away from closing the doors. Real deep, dark moment in my personal life, in my family life, because me personally, look, I was coming from a position of, I'm a family man, I've got 3 kids, I've got a wife, I'm married, I've got a mortgage, I've got all these things, this pressure, as well as a business that wasn't going well, and I felt like a failure. I felt like I really had nothing going for me at that time. There was no light at the end of the tunnel. I started on this sort of journey from that point onwards where I had to kind of really dig deep in my heart, in my soul, because I was getting heart palpitations, I was experiencing anxiety, real rough moments, sleepless nights, all those sorts of things. But believe it or not, that wasn't really the turning point. For me, it was kind of discovering new ways of doing business, new ways of taking my business online, hence the social media breakthrough, and becoming a business coach and things like that. So it was at a moment though where I was encouraged, I guess, by a friend to do a workshop where I was going really good in social media. I'd already gone through this gamut of emotions like I was talking to you before, and I'd picked up my business really to a point where it was at rock bottom, almost going broke, almost closing the doors, and clawed my way to the top. When it finally got to a stable level where I really had to kind of tear down the business and then bring it back up again to a point that was comfortable, it was really through the utilization of online strategies and marketing skills that way. But I got to a point where a lot of businesses were really taking note of what I was doing. And one particular person said to me, look, throw together a workshop because business owners need to do this. And if you want to do it, you can use my training room and all those sorts of things. So we built up a connection and a relationship. Long story short, I threw the event and 50 people showed up. And strangers, friends and family all together come along to see me. You were there, George, right? We're filming the first night, and I got to tell you, it was such a scary point. It was a topic that I was comfortable with in my skin, but I'd never really presented before, so I put a lot of time and energy into the actual production of it, making sure that the information was going to be key to all the people that were coming along, because as soon as I started marketing it, lo and behold, there was kind of like 10 people were coming, and then 15, then 25, and then 30, and eventually 54 people were booked to come and see me and learn about social media and business. So this was sort of uncharted territory for me. And it's amazing, right? Because I went through the night and delivered, in my eyes, an awesome presentation. It was really something that blew my mind in terms of what come over me and the sort of energy that I was drawing on just delivering and serving these guys. It was absolutely free, by the way. I didn't charge a cent for it. It was for nothing. It was really just to prove to myself that I could kind of do this. And I've got to tell you, I had this adrenaline rush in my body, and I remember just sitting there. It went for a couple of hours. People were coming up to me afterwards and talking to me and thanking me and just telling me what a great night it was. People were leaving video testimonials. Hey, George, they were like, that was a good night, And I sort of sat back. I couldn't sleep that night when I went home, and I just said, fuck, man, like I am buzzing, I am on top of the planet right now. This feeling, if I could just bottle it up and sell it, it'd be worth a fortune, And I was feeling just on top of the planet. I was feeling amazing, and it just dawned on me because I had done another business for 10 years nearly, right? So, that was kind of my passion. That was kind of where, I was thinking that I was going to be heading in the future. And all of a sudden, there was kind of this moment where I'm like, why am I on this path? It was almost going through all of those trials and tribulations, those moments of going broke, those moments of having critical conversations with staff members and telling them that there's not a future here. And hey, the conversations that I had to have with my family, with my wife and myself. I mean, I was shitting myself. I was getting to a point where I was scared and really fearful of what the future would hold for me, that this business that I built was just going to be thrown away, for nothing, and it was going to leave me embarrassed. It was going to leave me feeling like a failure, and I didn't want that. I was shit scared. But here I was feeling on top of the planet after giving a keynote talk to 50 odd business owners, and that was the moment, that was the turning point in my life. I realized that this process, this journey that I was on, was all in aid to bring me to this very point. There was a reason why that things weren't going that well. There was a reason why I was taken on this path. There was reasons for me to go through what I did, because it cultivated what's the word I'm looking for, George? Like intestinal fortitude, It created the resilience, which I think is a strength. When people say, what's your strength? I think a strength of mine is kind of like resilience, I think being resilient is a way of really being able to push through the sticking points. And for that moment there, that was the time that I felt that this was my calling. This was my life. And it was only a few months later that I started getting the ball in motion, really, to make the transition, to kind of get to a point where I'm like, you know what? This thing's begging me, it's calling me, because I didn't sort of go, here we go, we're now going to be a social media trainer, or we're now going to be a business coach. It was kind of like it sat with me for a while. And then I got to the point of just setting things in motion. More and more opportunities come along to go down this path of coaching and training, less and less into the business I was in and real estate and things like that. It finally got to a point where a decision had to be made. But it was that pivotal moment that really made me think, there's more to this, there's more to my life. There's more to the identity of who I am and the message that I need to carry out there into the world, and how to serve people. So, I'm telling you this because if you haven't had that aha moment, if you haven't had that pivotal moment, if you haven't had the moment of that's really shaking you up, and maybe you don't have to go through it. Maybe you don't have to hit rock bottom like I did. Maybe you don't have to go broke. No one wants to lose all their money in order to learn a lesson, but maybe there's something that is burning inside of you. Maybe there's something that's burning inside of you that you've been ignoring, that someone has said to you, hey, you should really pursue that. You're really good at that. You know, like I'm looking at George when I think about this, because we've had heaps of conversations around taking his video skills and his image, photography and things like that to another level. You know, there's always something that's going to be holding you back. So for you, what is it? And the thing is, when are you going to make that decision to make a break? Because I can tell you, we're on this earth for a limited amount of time, and you know what? There's only so many number of breaths that you have in your life. Okay? So the life lessons that you can take away with this is don't fucking wait. All right? Don't wait for that pivotal moment that you do go broke or lose everything or get divorced or something tragic happens. You know, don't wait for it to happen. Make it fucking happen. You know, get out there and go and chase your dreams. If it's impractical for you, which I understand as a dad with 3 kids and a mortgage, if it's impractical to drop everything, then don't. Start something on the side. Start doing something that's going to be moving you to the direction of your goals, which is what is really going to be that burning desire that you want to do anyway. So start that something today and make it happen. You know, make that happen for yourself, because I can tell you that there is no way you want to go out of this life wondering, feeling regretful about the steps that you didn't take, the actions that you didn't take. You know, one of my worst fears, I think, is going to my deathbed with regret. Okay guys, if you like this, share it with your friends, get this message out there. If you're listening to it on the podcast, leave me a review, and if you're on Facebook, share it out with as many friends. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. You've been watching Life Lessons TV. See you on the next episode.